Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to work on our snatch press, but a complex version of it where we add a step back lunge. The point of complicating things like clean and press and snatch press is that it forces you to slow down, and it's going to force you to make sure your spine and your hips are in the right position. Most people who have been injured in their life, which is kind of everybody, usually have one side of their spine be stronger than the other side, one hip be stronger, and one shoulder be stronger. And they might not always be logical on which goes to which. It could be left shoulder, left side of the spine, left hip. It could be left shoulder, right side of the spine, left hip. It can be all kinds of weird things. We want to design solutions that will help us solve all the problems no matter what they are. So that's what this exercise is. This is going to help us own the bottom of our half kneeling position, which is kind of the bottom of a lunge. It's going to help us own our snatch better by slowing our snatch way down. And it's going to help us own our press better by changing the press from starting at the bottom, going to the top and coming down, to starting at the top, coming down and going up. For this exercise, we are going to end up putting our knee all the way down on the ground for a second because we want to get the initiation of firing ourselves all the way back up. So we are going to use our Rogue Ab Mat 2, as I always do for these positions, because I don't want to put my knee on the ground because I've had 3 knee surgeries. If your knees are fine and you can live through it, put your knee on the ground. If you're like me and you've been hurt a bunch, put something underneath your knee. For the first side of this movement, we are going to take our foot and we are going to put it in the center of our ab mat on the ground so that when we step forward, we will step back and our knee will end up directly in the correct position. Getting your knee pad in position before you start is very important. And you need to be able to correct it on the fly because you will have to take a shifting step in the middle point of this exercise in order to get to the other knee. From here, we're going to step up. When we change hands, we're going to have to do a shuffle step, and our heel should be in line with the center of the mat so that when we go down, we know exactly where it's at. When we go to the other side, we're going to shuffle step, our heel is in line, and I can look right back and see it. I don't have to turn and look. I can just look down and move my eyes back and make sure that I'm still in the center of my mat. The opening of this movement is going to be our snatch press. Go back, watch the videos on the snatch, watch all the videos on the press, and watch the videos on the snatch press. This is one step beyond the snatch press. Line your heel up with the center of your mat. Point both feet straight ahead. I like our handle to be perpendicular to the line of our body so that when I reach down, the L of my hand will go to the L of the kettlebell, and I will push back with my thumb pointed back for the safety of my elbow. L to the L. Load up, push back, snatch all the way up. Glutes tight, pull the kneecaps up. Bring the weight down. From here, we're going to add a step back. Step back. I shouldn't have to look too much at it. It should be generally somewhere behind where I set up the mat. From here, we are now going to initiate standing back up. This is the part where everybody kind of has holes in their core. And you will see me in videos hitch sometimes because I've been hurt a lot. So I like to keep this movement in my programming a lot because it forces my core to fire in a way that really, really helps my body survive all the injuries it's had. From here, stand back up. Press. Snatch down, thumb points back. Snatch up. Palm parallel with my body. Bring the weight down. This version, we're doing the step back with the weight at rack because overhead is really hard for most people. So we can put this half level in between where we step back in rack position. Step back, find the ground. Knee on the ground, drive your hip forward. Pull your belly in, drive your rib cage down. You'll feel a stretch in the front of this bottom leg. Now let's initiate with that lead leg. Drive up. Press up. Let's change hands. So now we're going to get ourselves to the other side. We're going to look back, line up our heel, do it in some way that doesn't require you to drop the weight on your skull. From here, bring the weight down. Nice and easy position to do our step back. Get our knee on our mat. 90 degrees in the front leg. Drive up through the lead heel. Squeeze both legs nice and strong. Your glutes are the base of your press. Squeeze your glutes. Press up. Snatch down. Snatch up. Rack position. Step back. Find the ground. Squeeze the glute. Stretch the front of the hip. Initiate from the lead leg. Stand up. Press up. Press up. And snatch down. The point of this exercise is to get people stronger in that rack position. They step back with the opposite leg, which is the exact same way it's done in a Turkish get-up, but people will oftentimes hitch at the bottom, and you'll see this weird spinal movement as they try to get up. They will try to lean forward here to stand up. Right now we're in our intermediate rack position. Because the weight is in front of our body, if they lean forward to get up, there will be a penalty. It will be harder. So this encourages people to keep their crown to coccyx alignment vertical throughout the entire movement. Your body hinges during the snatch, snatch all the way up, crown to coccyx alignment stays good. Now we bring the weight down, we step back, we keep our crown to coccyx alignment the entire time. Moving from our symmetrical hip position to that asymmetrical hip position, load one side. If something is wrong with your hips, this will help you find it very quickly. You'll find one side will hitch and the other side won't. If both sides hitch differently, then you definitely need to do this exercise and keep working it. The goal of this is to forces people to slow down and think in every one of the positions so that they can get better and own those positions before they go up to heavier weights. This has been Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica.